to the issue of the fact that there aren't enough houses. Well, common sense to an ordinary person says if you haven't got enough houses, the solution is to build more houses. The current government and one before it tend to think that the market will do all that by itself. Well, obviously it won't, because if there's no limit on, as I said, if there's no limit on who can come in from wherever, bringing whatever cheap money they've got in unlimited quantities, that's what the market will supply. And if a developer can say, well, I can build 10 houses at $200,000 each, or I can build 10 houses at $1 million each, and I'll sell them all anyway, why would I build the cheap ones? Of course they won't. Yeah. We had state houses in the 30s because the state recognised that the market wasn't supplying the demand. And whether you go about it through increased supply credit or whether you use long-term infrastructure bonds or whatever, government, the state has to essentially either do it itself or initiate it being done. You either contract someone to do it or you do it yourself through your own department, the Ministry of Works, whoever it was that built the houses back then. It can't be left to private enterprise to do it in an uncapped market because they simply won't provide that need. We start from a basic standpoint that you don't have enough houses, the answer is to build more. That's ordinary common sense that regular people can understand. And as I say, it has to be the state that initiates that. It has to be the state that finds a way of funding it, one way or another. Because that's a responsibility of government. People have to have houses. If the market doesn't provide, well, the state has to. And I'm not saying it's not necessarily going to be a rerun of the 1930s. There are other options nowadays that weren't there back then, or that certainly weren't utilised back then. But fundamentally, the middleman who takes a profit has to go out of that equation, because that's really where the inaccessibility of affordable housing comes from.
Would they be for sale as affordable housing, or to rent as affordable housing?
Oh, look, I mean, getting that to make that housing available to people who can't currently afford it. That's the problem. That's the need that requires to be filled. And whatever way you go about organising the mechanics of that, it has to be with that goal in mind. Partly immigration, and partly because a lot of the houses that are being bought by people from offshore are people who stay offshore. So there's allowing anyone from anywhere to buy houses.